Okay guys, quick update with Bitcoin. So if you watched the last video, I showed you a technique I use when price is pushing up, how to find a potential top for those pumps and when to know that the trend has changed and we possibly have some downside. So I added a second fib channel. I'll show you how I did this. Actually, I'm sorry, a second parallel channel. Actually, I'm going to add a fib channel to this and show you how you can project out into the future to find points too long and short, which is very interesting. And this was only on the 5 minute. Imagine what you can find on the 15 minute, 1 hour, and 1 day. So I'm going to show you that technique. As I go forward, guys, I'd like to teach you. I will have a video I put up soon that's going to go into detail with all of these techniques. But I thought it'd be nice to kind of show you this feature and you can implement this into your own charting techniques. Guys, if you want to get into lever shading, great exchange, Coincatch, no KYC. If you want to sign up, links pinned first comment description. They have all kinds of incentives up until Thanksgiving to sign up. They're doing like $10,000 airdrops. They're giving you sign up bonuses. So take advantage of that while they're still offering it. If you want to learn how to trade, and guys, even if you're using other exchanges, please watch this tutorial for Coincatch. Not only do I show you how to set up an account and how to transfer funds and all that, and how to use the tools, the most important thing, I explain market price versus limit and mark price. This will save you if you have a stop loss or if you're doing a limit order. I show you why trigger orders are better with market price. This is to protect your account. So I do suggest you watch this tutorial video, even if you're another exchange. Like I said, it will help you just, again, protect your assets and make sure that you'll be more profitable. It's the most important thing is you don't want to lose money. So do watch this video if you get a chance about Coincatch. I'll put a link up to it now if you want to check it out. So in the last video, I showed you, this was about 8 minutes, 12 seconds in. Actually, a little before that. I explained how I go down to the 5 minute, showing you how to find a potential top with these pumps. Now, yes, you can use resistance levels, but this gives you a general idea when the trend has changed. I'll put a link to this video now if you want to check it out. Now we do need to cover a couple other things. So you can see our main resistance was when you connect these tops right here and right here. That did give us this point where we got rejected. Obviously, if we get above 90K, guys, we're going much, much higher. We have not got above that point yet. We need to cover something. We have a gap below on the Dow, and we have a gap below on Bitcoin. We're going to cover that also. So in Discord, same thing as last time, guys. We started getting this pump, and I showed, I created this fib channel, and then I zoomed out, and it showed the fib retracements, and then I adjusted it and made another adjustment. You can see down here, I adjusted it to make it match. And I'll show you why I did that, and then I'm going to show you a fib channel and just show you how you can project out. So let me show you that really quick, and then we'll get on to these gaps, which we need to pay attention to, as well as the Dow. So this is, so price was pumping, and I rewound this back. So you can see if we go back to this post I made on, this was yesterday at 11:24 a.m. So basically you can see where price was. We had one tap, almost a second tap, and a third tap. Price was right here. So basically we're moving in this channel. Now I did add another channel to it, and I'll show you why I did that. But let me hit play. I have it rewound back to where I created the chart. As you can see, where price is right there. You can see prices here. So I'm going to hit play. And you can see how price respects that channel and ends up being resistance. We break out of this channel and then price starts dropping. I'm going to go ahead and stop this right now because it goes on for a while. This is the 5 minute. Let's see here. I'm just going to get out of replay. So you can see what I did was, and this is pretty simple. So, and it was hard to find the structure. As you can see, this is all I had at the point. If we rewind back to right here, this is all I had to go on. But you can see we did have a point where it dropped down. Again, it's hard setting these structures up. As price moves along, you can adjust it if need be. This was accurate. But what I did was I used another parallel channel. You go up to where the trend line is. You go to the trend line section and you click on parallel channel. So all I did was I just overlaid, right? Just went straight over. I need to turn off extended. Basically, I just went over the same parallel channel. And I came down and I moved the dotted line right down to where it matches. Again, you're not paying attention to the bottom here. You're paying attention to get the parallel channels to match. So you pull this down to where the center dotted line of the new parallel channel matches the previous one. So, and now, actually, let me extend this out to the other side. And then when you hit play, you can see how this plays out. Let me click play. So you can see what happened. We actually, let me go ahead and stop this. All right, let me just go ahead and stop this, put it back how it was. So you can see what happened. Once we broke this point, right? Once we broke this point right here, yes, we did push up, but that showed you the trend had changed. Then when we hit this bottom channel, notice this channel became resistance. So that shows you that the trajectory, the up trajectory had changed and we're moving sideways and potentially down. And I did make a post, and I can go down and show you right here that your next major support level was on, well, multiple charts. I was showing down here 87,937, and then you had two key support levels that previously were resistance on the H1 chart, and you can see that we did hold support right here. Give you a price label. Notice we came down, found support, and pushed up. So again, these charts are accurate, but I want to show you one more thing that is very, very, I'm telling you, this is the most powerful tool, and I will go into detail in the next video I put up, but I want to show you a technique. So, okay, this is the 5 minute, so I'm just going to zoom out and see where price is right now. Let me turn off this Bollinger Band just so it's a little cleaner. So again, parallel channels are amazing, but again, the technique I use first, use a parallel channel, find out the direction price is moving. When you know that price is respecting this channel, you see it broke it, moved up as resistance, broke it, moved up as resistance, right? So if you go under, it's the second one down in over here in the toolbar, and you click on a fib channel. So basically you just draw a fib channel, right? And you just go over the top part here, right? And pull it out. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that one of these lines, so you see this red line right here, as long as you match it, so you pull this red line right here, right? Just make sure it matches. And look what happens when you zoom out. And I'm going to go ahead and extend this out right and left. Notice what happens here. Notice how price respects these. We moved up this as resistance, right? Once we broke this line, we dropped, right? We hit our support, we pushed up. And not much happened here. You can see we just went sideways. Notice once we crossed this, we dropped as resistance. We dropped below it. That became resistance. And now you'll notice that we're interacting with this line. However, you can also, you can actually move this. So let me change this. So instead of using the red line, see the red line right here? Let's take this green line and put where that red line is, right? So we'll do like that. And now you can see how price still respects these fib channel lines. Notice that it's almost the same. You still have the point where we broke below, it became resistance. Notice once we broke this point, we dropped, and now we're riding up this trend line. So what I'm showing you is, this is just on the 5 minute. Now in my tutorial videos, which you can't get access on my website, I show you how to build these fib channel structures in multiple directions. But they are key to giving you points to know when to long and short. And again, projecting price out. But the main thing is to start with parallel channels, and you can add more parallel channels, and once price is respecting it, you add your fib channels, and then you just have all kinds of points that you can potentially enter long and short. So we know it's possible we could ride up this point right here, and as soon as we break it, we would get a drop. So again, it's a very powerful tool. I will go in more detail when I put up the next video with some charting techniques, but I wanted to share that with you guys. So let's move on to the next thing. So I wanted to point out, if you can see down below, this is the MACD. This was our previous high. This is when price pushed up. This was back in the 13th of March 2024. I just want to point out that the MACD, the moving average on the MACD is about up to where it was previously. Now you can see that we have the dark green lines. It's going light. I'm just saying we're way overextended. All right, and you can see the RSI is going to be way overextended for a while. So just preparing you this possibility we could have some downside. I do want to point out, as I said before, your most key support level right now to pay attention to is right at and around this. Remember, it was support before us. It stayed long with the stop below that point. So your most key support level just below today will be 85,358, and tomorrow will be around 85,562. If that breaks, guys, your next level below, as I mentioned before, is going to be around 82,500. And your most key level below is going to be down here around 77,200 to 77,000, depending when we make contact. The longer it takes, the higher that price will be. Take note that the central Bollinger Band is moving up to that point, but we need to discuss the CME because there is a gap below, not just on Bitcoin, but on the Dow as well. And I'll give your smaller time frames or your targets on the hourly as well. So I just want to point out, guys, that this is the Bitcoin CME futures. Take note that we have a gap. It's let's see, it starts at, let me put a price label here so you can see this. So if you notice the gap, we would have to drop down to, and this is a trend line I use for support and resistance. But just take note, I mean, it doesn't have to happen, and it doesn't have to happen right away, but typically when you have a gap, these gaps tend to get filled. The larger the gap, the more likely they get filled. So that gap to fill it is down around 77,700, and the gap starts at 81,000. So it is very possible we come down and fill that gap. I would just pay attention to that. It does not have to happen right away, but these gaps tend to get filled. And like I said, the larger the gap, the more likely they get filled. Take note that we're coming down now. On top of that, I talked about this in the previous video. Please go back and watch it. I mentioned that we could come back down below this point. Notice we pushed up, got a perfect rejection. So now we are getting rejected at this ring that I said could be a point that we could get a reversal. And remember, Bitcoin does follow the indices. And if we do continue down, just like Bitcoin, we have a gap on the Dow. And I imagine there's probably some gaps on the S&P as well as the NASDAQ. So to fill that gap, we would have to come all the way down to 42,273 from, and again, that's a pretty substantial drop, all the way down from 44,130 to 42,273. Take note the MACD is way overextended, as well as the RSI below. So I'm just saying it is very possible we could come down and fill that gap. Does not mean we have to, but again, historically, if you go back and look, whenever we have a gap, just like you can see this gap right here, right? Take note, price made its way down to fill that gap. So typically they get filled. So again, I think it's very possible we could see some downside. We could get a little chop before, but it's something to pay attention to. And again, this just showing, another one showing the gap. This is the gap below on Bitcoin. This is the gap below on the Dow. And there's just another version showing the gap. And this is a support level. So it just looks like that could be a point we could come down and test. And we'd have to drop down pretty quick to hit the support level. But again, I just want to point out that we do have gaps below for the indices and for Bitcoin, and they tend to get filled. So right now, you can see this red trend line. Again, I just, I add onto the charts as price moves along. So if we push up, your hourly resistance levels are right now. You can see that we did push up. We got a rejection right at this fib channel line at 89,487. Not saying we can't push back up. Your most key resistance level above to pay attention to is around 90,312. But remember, this trend line right here will now be resistance. And your support level just below is 87,195, and the next one below that is around 84,700, and then 82,375. But again, guys, like I said, if that gap gets filled, let's look for some confluence here. So let's go back to the Bitcoin CME. So 77,800, let's just say, well, it probably will get filled. It might drop a little below. Let's just say 77,500 if this plays out. Remember, we touched the top, all right? This right here is a very key resistance level. We did get a wick above. People got super excited, thinking we were breaking out. We came back below. So if we come back down, again, that target of, I can send me charts up here, 77,800. Let's go to this chart. So it is very possible we come back down to touch this yellow trend line, which is your most critical support level. And again, you can see that the center Bollinger Band is moving up to that point. If at any point 77,300 becomes resistance, well, we do know that we have a lot of support down around 72,835. And your most critical support, again, I said I was bullish above this orange macro trend line, super bullish above the yellow macro trend line. But if we get below 70,259, that is when I become bearish. But again, these are your key levels to pay attention to. I'll give you one more just below 80,000. But do pay attention to the markets, guys. It looks like the Dow could have some downside. And again, these gaps do tend to get filled. So just want to cover that. And again, I will be working on that video soon, showing you some charting techniques. I hope you do try. Just play around, play with fib channels, play with parallel channels. They are powerful tools. And then I will show some more stuff that I've learned over the years. Notice we're moving up this trend line, or actually fib channel line right now. But guys, again, if you get a leverage trading, Coincatch is a great option. If you take advantage of the specials, go ahead and sign up. The link's pinned in the first comment description. Make sure you watch this tutorial. Again, regardless what exchange you use, I do cover some key tools and show you why market price is a better option compared to mark price and limit orders, and so on and so forth. And guys, you want to sign up, this is the website, opticalcrypto.com. Remember, I have tutorials, and if you sign up to the monthly to get access to Bitcoin charts, altcoin charts, precious metals, and Discord, make sure you email me through the website, and I will send you an invite link. That's it, guys. Trade safe, trade smart. I'm out.